We're back out for a little bit of ice fishing. I'm actually in my backup spot this morning. I went to try a location in a local canal to fish for bluegills, and the snow was so bad I couldn't actually see the river from where I was parked. So just given that it was pretty dangerous out, I thought I'd come to my backup location, which is out here in a little harbor just off of Lake Ontario. And it's a great spot. It's a location that you can get perch, you can get panfish, you can get trout, you can get pike. There's so many different things that come through here, and you never really know which one's going to bite. Now, it's a little bit slow to start. I got one little perch. I haven't heard much activity from the other people out here, but we're going to give it a shot and see what else we can get into. So stick around. Oh, actually, there's a fish right there. Little guy, but if they're biting, that's what matters. We'll get him back and we'll talk about some of the tactics a little bit later. I'm trying a few different things. Now, the first two fish I got this morning, I started out with a small jigging spoon, a little Castmaster spoon with a little dropper to a teardrop and some maggots, rubber maggots. You can just see that there. This is one of my absolute favorite baits to start out with. If I go to somewhere where I haven't been in a while, or if I know there's going to be some aggressive fish, this is what I drop first. And I can usually drum up the first few aggressive fish to kind of get some competition going before I really set up the rest of my gear. So that's what I started with, got two fish with that, and it's slowed down quite a bit. I haven't actually had a bite in about half hour or so, and I've only been here about an hour and a half. That first hour I got 3 fish, and near as I can tell, I only saw one other fish caught from anybody else out here. So what I've done with it being slow is I've actually moved out a little bit deeper. There's a channel that runs along this rock wall, and it's about, say, 12 to 15 feet, whereas where my other lines are set, we're looking at, say, 7 to 10 feet. So quite a big difference, and there's going to be a lot more predatory fish, pike and stuff like that, that'll be coming through here. So I thought I would tie on this. I don't even remember what it's called. It's like a chubby darter or something like that. Really nice little bait. Gotten a number of perch on it. Bigger perch, in fact. A small ones don't tend to touch it. I'm going to try this out here in this deeper water for a little bit and see what it does for me. Might be able to drum up some more aggressive strikes from some perch, or hopefully if there's a pike nearby I can hook into him. Now, there's definitely a lot of weed growth on the bottom. This is a very weedy area all year long. Now, there's little sparse sand flats here and there during this time of year, midwinter, mid to almost late winter, and definitely the fish will congregate around that. But when you can find a little patch of weeds, definitely it's going to hold fish, just like it will any other time of the year. The bait fish, freshwater shrimp, all that kind of stuff, the crustaceans are all going to be around that. Now, my dead sticking line is still set over there. I keep checking it periodically. I've lost a few minnows, so I know they've been still nosing around, pulling them off the hooks there. We'll see if we can get another big take with that line. And in the meantime, I'll keep busy out here, jigging around. I've drilled another hole just a little bit closer to the rock wall, or it might even be another foot or two deeper over there. And just see if I can intercept some of those fish kind of moving back and forth along that ledge, looking for, any panfish that might dart out of the rocks or something like that. So those are the tactics. That's what we're trying. Let's see what else we can get. We got a little bit more time, about 2 or 3 more hours before I have to head home, and hopefully we can get a few more. working for them, still being able to jig some of them up. Maybe small, but like I said, I'm just out to enjoy the day and not keeping anything. I got plenty of perch at home in the freezer already. You know, the bites are much more scarce, but you know, working for them, trying these different baits is what's making the difference. I've only gotten 2 fish on the dead minnows, and I've gotten 4 now on different jigging baits. And again, it's just working around those bits of structure, the weeds that I'm in right here. And it seems to be a more subtle jigging technique that's working. The more aggressive jigs or movements that I'm making aren't really getting any activity. As soon as I actually let it sit still, they seem to just come in and knock at it. It'd be nice if something big would come flying through, a nice big pike, a rainbow, or a brown. You know, I've gotten so many different varieties of fish in this area over the years that it's always exciting to just not know what's going to bite. You come here for perch, and then you might catch only trout one day. You come here set up for pike, and you might just get big perch. I've even heard of the odd walleye getting caught out of here as well. Just keep checking the dead sticking line, see if anything happens there. But maybe I can get lucky and I can drag up a couple more fish here. Now there was an aggressive little bite, another little guy, but man did he ever slam it. That was funny. I was checking my set line and I was just giving a little twitch, and all of a sudden, bam, thought I had a much bigger fish. There we go. Well, the weather's starting to take a bit of a turn for the worse. The fish really haven't been biting for the last little while, and I'm just about out of time for my little bit of a morning out, so I think I'm going to pack in probably about the next 15 minutes and head in. And you know, if I get another fish before that, great. If not, I still had a good morning. Managed to get about 7 fish. You know, in conditions when nobody else out here got any more than 1 or 2 between, you know, their group. So I did pretty well, changing my baits up. You know, I didn't move too much, but I covered water about 60 feet around where I was. Oh, there's a fish right now. Just out of nowhere, look at that. But yeah, I covered water, I changed my baits, I stayed versatile, and managed to get 1 more fish before the end of the day. So, you know, use some of the tips that I gave you, see how they work out for you, and hopefully you'll put a few more fish on the ice as well. We'll see you next time. Enjoy your time on the water.